everyone, how's it going? Christina here. Welcome back to another video on the crypto channel, doing some coverage for you today on KASPA. This has had quite a pump. It has been in the range of 10 cents, 11 cents, 12 cents. We're back down to around 10 cents today. We're going to take a look at the chart, the prices. I'll give you a little bit of my perspective as to where I think it's going in the next month or so, and we will also talk exchange listings. So it's going to be a pretty good video. Stick with me. And without further ado, let's head on over to the chart. All right, so it is currently sitting at a price right now of 0.1093, almost up to that 11-cent range. However, it did shoot up to 11 cents, specifically 11.26 earlier today around 8 a.m., and we see it go through a sharp correction down to the mid 10-cent range at 10.52, and then back up again a little bit to 11.05. Down again to 1071, and then back up a little bit, currently sitting at the 1093 range. This is all normal small fluctuations when we see it hit a new price point, and then it's normal for it to kind of come back down again. It's up 1.91% for the past 24 hours. We are in the red here for the 7-day view, down 13.22% with a low of 1035 and a high of almost 13 cents, not quite. It was 1263. So it was over that mid 12 range at 12.6. Moving on into the 1-month view here, up 40.56%, super bullish looking, with a low of 7 cents and a high of almost 13 cents. So, and then of course the almost 13 cents, that's 12.90. That was hit on May 12th. Then it went down a little bit through a correction again down to 11, and then up and down again between the 10 and 11 cent range. So we are over the hump here. I do not think we will see it go down to 7, 6, or 5 cents again. Now, I'm not saying that's written in stone. I'm not saying that that is absolutely the case. Anything can happen. So please don't take that at face value. But I have a hunch we're over that hump, because now we're getting into June, July, August, prime months, if we're thinking historically for the bull cycle. And I think by July, the bull cycle will be back. Moving on into the 1-year view, and then also with that being said, with the bull cycle being back in the summer months, there's only room for KASPA to go up, not down, right? That combined with the beginning of altcoin season, I think this is really going to just surge from here, whether that's a slow, steady progression or we're going to have some overnight pumps. Even if we do have overnight pumps, definitely expect some short-term corrections, but I think we're on the up here for KASPA. I think we've hit some significant humps and milestones. So 1-year view down 16.15%. We have a low of 5 cents. We all remember that time when it hit 5 and I bought. And then a high, obviously, of 20 cents. Then, of course, we'll go into the 1-year view here, looking super, super bullish. And I think we'll be hitting, 20 cents soon. I think that's the next milestone here, to hit that all-time high again and then kind of surge beyond it. Keep in mind, when it hits the new all-time high, expect it to come back down a little bit again. When it hits 21, 22, 23, expect it to come down again to about 20, 19 cents, all normal. It's, working in that pattern of 2 steps forward, 1 step backward, 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. But I do think we are really over the humps here. Now, on to exchange listings. We're already in tier 1 territory with the Kraken listing. So if you're a newbie, a normie, you don't know, you're clueless and you have no idea where to buy Caspa, you could easily buy it on Kraken. That's a very easily accessible tier one exchange, especially if you are in the United States. You could also buy it on Uphold, which is a lesser known US exchange that I kind of put in a tier one category, but again, it's lesser known. So you could use Uphold. And then if you're familiar with some of those more shady exchanges, decentralized exchanges, feel free to use, MEXC, L Bank, KuCoin, Gate.io, some of those other tier two, tier three exchanges. You could totally use those too. But to easily access Caspa, you can use Kraken or Uphold. But we're already in tier one territory. So crypto.com will be listing this soon. Binance will be listing this soon. Probably sometime in the next 3 months. I think we could see it happen by the end of the summer. But it will happen this bull cycle. Why? It has to. Now, I don't know what Binance and Crypto.com are waiting for necessarily. I would have listed Caspa in a heartbeat just for the technology alone, but that doesn't always happen. So, it's a little bit of a waiting game here, but we're already in tier one territory. So, a Binance listing, a Crypto.com listing combined with the beginning of altcoin season being in the middle of a bull cycle. Also, with Caspa hitting more mainstream, this is just going to pump and pump and fly. And then that's when everyone asks me, Christina, how far is it going to pump? Now, I have ran polls on this on my X page before. Where do you think Caspa is going to go in terms of prices? Usually the choices I put are $1, $3, $5, $7. Don't think it's going to hit $7. I think that's extremely bullish. Don't think it's going to do $1. I think that's too bearish. I think somewhere between $3 and $5 is a pretty doable price for Caspa. I think that's very realistic. And that's just for this bull cycle. Okay, you're gonna want to be holding, like, yes, collect your profits after this bull cycle on Caspa, but you're gonna always want to be holding a bag of this, right? Because this is just gonna surge, 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 right? This is following in the footprints of Bitcoin. So you're always going to want to have some Caspa in your portfolio, even through the bear market, but I'm not going to start giving advice on the bear market yet until we hit the bear market. What I might advise some people to do is, put your remaining bags, meaning after you take profits, put some remaining bags in either some altcoins or maybe a stable coin, and then uh, then buy when some of these coins get really, really low, like to the lowest where they could probably, the lowest they could possibly go. Then you buy when they're really, really low, and then do it that way. But like when it's not going to go down like anymore, then you buy. But I'm not going to do a full review here until we get into bear market season. But anyways, you're always going to want to have a bag of Caspa, and that is whether you take everything out of Caspa and buy back in, which I don't know how I feel about that. But like I said, I have to think about that. Like, I honestly have to think about what I'm going to do when Caspa surges. But my point is, you're always gonna want to have some, like, through all these bull cycles, because next bull cycle it's gonna surge. You're gonna want to have Caspa through all the bull cycles. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But we're not gonna get ahead of ourselves here. We're just focusing on this bull cycle. Top off your bags, guys. Buy, buy, buy. 10 cents is still super cheap. Anything below 20 cents for Caspa is pretty good. So top off your bags. Make sure you have this, your biggest bag in your portfolio, and you will be totally, totally set this bull cycle. Don't forget, you could book a call with me. Introducing everyone to the Crypto Channel VIP. Click on the Join tab here. There are 2 packages for you to choose from. You could do a one-on-one call or the yearly option for monthly calls with me, super cheap, reasonable pricing. And the annual price is actually a little bit of a discount. So check that out if you're interested. Portfolio reviews and one-on-one coaching, plus some other perks. My social media links are in the description section: Instagram, X, Discord server. Give me a follow on those if you're interested. And of course, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It is so appreciated. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks, guys.